What's up?
Hello.
How's it going?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Good, good, good. I like your camera angles today, Katie.
And the England shirt and the Sunderland shirt in the background.
Isn't the Gaza jersey up for a win? The best question wins your Gaza jersey, right?
And I'll probably be quite all right with giving it away. I'm not sure Simon would be so pleased.
He'd be giving you away then.
Got me a for Gaza any day, which is quite well.
All right.
How's the gym?
It's getting there day by day. I'm just doing some work now with it, and then I'll do some more after. But all on track for next Thursday.
Very good. Very good. See the pictures.
Yeah, it's all the little details now, just cleaning up the little things that amount to a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's good. It's on track. It's
Good.
fast. Yeah.
I'm definitely seeing the pictures, and I'm definitely looking forward to visiting later this year.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Right, so this episode is all about the gym workouts, gym-based exercise, questions about the gym, what should you do in there, gym, more gym. And I'm just going to turn this up a little bit. Fabulous. So, the first one is, so this is a good question, and then it has a little example at the end, which I think is helpful. How do we get around the smallest of negatives to stop us from going to the gym? For example, the person that sent this question writes this. This morning my phone had not charged, so I had no music, and then I felt a small strain in my calf, which I could have stretched out, but these caused negative thoughts and I ended up not going to the gym. How do you get around situations like that?
You just have to just fucking go, like. It's the same with work, or like, oh, I don't want to pay my taxes. You have to sit your ass down and do your taxes. Like, just it's part of being an adult. Like, you're not a kid. Be the CEO in your own life. If you want better health and you want to feel good, and you're chasing whatever specific goal it is, that comes with, like, take responsibility. There's trade-offs. You can't sit at home and be like, oh, my calf. Now, there's times to listen to your body, but I've done this as well. It's like when you don't want to train, and then like all these telltale signs come in, you just let them bowl you over, and you're like, yes, secretly. But like, it's just like work, just like anything you don't want to do in life that you have to do. Just go, and it shouldn't be a chore. It won't always be a chore. You learn to love it, or if you're not loving it and you've never learned to love it, you're still doing the wrong thing, and you need to maybe change gyms, or like you said before, like find a sport that you love, that you want to go there for,
And this reminds me of one of my favourite ever Kez analogies, which was we didn't talk about this on the last slide, it was the one before, I think, where you said about going to work. Like, you kind of touched on it there, you just do it. Like, you don't always want to go to work, but you know that because you'll get paid money from work. But in the case of the gym, you'll get paid in good health, good fitness, good results. And I think you could probably look at this question as well from a point of view of like the night before prep. So I like, say if your phone's not charged, like, make sure your phone's on charge, make sure you put your clothes out the night before, make sure like you've set your alarm with enough time to do the jobs that you need to do in the morning, as well as going to the gym. It's just like using the night before to be organised, so that the actual process of going to the gym the next day doesn't feel like a big mountain to climb. Like, make that as easy a task to do as possible.
Yeah, definitely. Set yourself up for success rather than, leaving it all. And like, sometimes it can be, I go through phases of like, I absolutely need headphones when I train, or like I'm OCD, so I'm just going to lose my morals. And then there's times I'm like, I'm not going to even, like, I'm listening to nothing. I'm not even going to wear them. And it's like, sometimes it's fun to challenge yourself. If headphones is like, oh, they're not charged, that's going to ruin my workout. It's kind of, sometimes it's a good test to be like, you know what, you try it without it. You don't have that motivational music, but that's a good kind of challenge for you as well. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
I suppose as well, not having any music opens up the possibilities of talking to other humans at the gym.
I like, sometimes, it depending on like where I'm at, like music wise, I'll go through different phases and genres, right? Sometimes I'll go through like, I really enjoy slower music, and then I find myself moving slower in the gym because I'm moving to what I hear. Typically I'm like punk rock in your face, it's loud and I'm buzzing, but like now and again it's like I want a different vibe, and I don't even realize sometimes I'm like moving so slow in the gym, and I'm like, shit, I'm like literally moving to the beats and they're slower. So yeah, sometimes music is can be positive and negative, like, you know, like sometimes you get too lost in it that you're standing still a bit rather than just getting your work done, interacting.
I also think that with music and the gym, that yes, there are definitely some things where I love to have my music, but sometimes, like say if you love to run with music, you could think, right, well, I don't have any music today, my headphones are on charge, my phone is in charge, whatever, so that doesn't mean I'm not going to go to the gym. I might just not go to the gym and run. Today, I might just swap Monday for Tuesday, and I might do some lifting today, or I might do some like stretch-based stuff where I don't rely so much on like external stimulation. So every trip to the gym is a good trip. It's never a bad trip. So whatever you do when you get there, the main thing is to go there.
You know what happened to me yesterday, right? I absolutely love training. You know me, I'm like you. Love training. Like, it's a huge part of my identity forever. On a Saturday, I'll usually try to do like a bit of a circuit with one of my friends. And I was just dead. Like, I'm just so dead this week. But rather than just being like, oh, I'm dead. And I it wasn't that I didn't want to do it. I have a competitive streak with myself that I try and compare myself to my competitor boxer days. And it's like, nah, I'm well past that. Like, so rather than not doing anything, I just said to my friend, I was honest, I was like, I'm totally not in the zone, but I'm gonna like do whatever I can do. And as soon as I got rid of the responsibility of having to be Kez in her peak athlete days, I just moved, and I didn't even worry about like how many sets or reps, or like I usually do A, B, C, D, and I only got A and B. It was just like anything was a win because I was already kind of defeated. Like, so like you said there, it's like there's no waste in, if you show up and you're going to do an hour of a circuit and you show up and you just walk on a treadmill for 10 minutes, that's all you had that day and you gave it. Way better than just being like, oh, I just won't go at all. Like, because you're just building that habit of just always showing up, doing what you can, giving yourself permission to not be perfect. And then, you know, so totally agree. There's never a wasted. I don't think, even on the days I've not wanted to go to gym, I've never done one rep and been like, you know what, that was a waste, I should go home. Like, at least I'm like, you know, it is what it is. I did a rep. So
Sometimes you get up and you think, like if you have one of those days where maybe you didn't really feel like it, or you feel low on energy, and you think, right, well, using the example you said, if you normally plan to do like an hour of circuit training, and you think, right, well, I'm just going to go and I'm just going to do 20 minutes. I guarantee that by the time you've done your 20 minutes, you think, well, I might as well do 30.
yeah.
Done half now, might as well do the whole thing. Like, break it down and pull it back a little bit sometimes, and you end up getting in place. Sometimes you just have to take baby steps to get to the bigger goal. Yeah.
100%.
Okay. Quality answer. It's getting a massive tick. Right. Next question. I put off doing different things in the gym because I'm unsure of how to use the equipment, what would you recommend I do that is easy to use?
I kind of have a few answers and a few questions on that.
Okay, go on.
Because I have a client that doesn't, like, if someone said to her, she's like, this other trainer told me to use this machine and that machine is busy, so then she doesn't know what to do and she doesn't really do anything. It's try like, and again, it's easy for me and you to say because we're trainers, but just try think of what the movement is on the machine you're trying to use. So let's say there's a chest press machine and you're like, oh, how do I use this? I don't want to look stupid. I feel a bit intimidated, which is very common. Just try break down what is the movement doing. So it's doing that. So put yourself somewhere in that gym where you can do that, which is on your back pushing dumbbells, or like in a squat rack, but doing like an elevated push, or something like that. Is try look at it more as what movement is it, then that's, I don't know what that is, so I just can't do it, sort of thing. But then also, if you don't really know, it's always good to just like get a trainer just for one day to teach you these things, so that you can go in and do it by yourself confidently,
I haven't I just uploaded it today, but I haven't put it out there yet. A YouTube video about gym worry, which is, where you think, oh, I don't know what to do, or I'm worried about going. And I said in this video that sometimes participants and members will look at, say, people like us who work in the fitness industry and think, oh, I bet they're super confident. And sometimes people think, almost think that gym instructors and PTs can be unapproachable sometimes, for that reason. So they might go in the gym and really want to ask questions and really want the knowledge, but feel a little bit uncomfortable going up to the trainer and asking. But I think what's important for members and participants to know is that it is the job of, especially gym instructors on a gym floor, to do exactly this role, to show people how to use bits of kit, to take them around, give them a little bit of a tour, give them some confidence, correct their technique. So that person on the gym floor actually wants to be asked.
Yeah.
And often, because of a trainer, doesn't mean that they're confident going up to people and saying, do you want to just try doing your squat a little bit like this? Because often the trainer's worried about what reaction they're going to get. Because some members might go, excuse me, been squatting like this for 20 years, jog on. And so you don't know what response you're going to get. And I remember when I used to work on the gym floor, it was our actual job to write and log which members we interacted with and who we helped and how we helped them. So it's actually you've got the gym instructor here, desperate help, and you've got the participant desperate for help. Both feel a little bit maybe uncomfortable or shy about asking, but as soon as one person makes the first move, the other person will be like, oh yeah, definitely, let's do this. So I guess in that YouTube video I've made, I've likened it to dating a little bit. Somebody's got to make the first move. Somebody's got to ask the other person out. So just members and participants should know that coaches are often stood there just itching to be asked. How do I train, or what should I do? So don't be shy. But then I think where which machines and what should you use, I guess an easy place to start is if you don't feel comfortable, or maybe there isn't someone to ask, you just can't go wrong with resistance machines. You can go wrong with them, but you can't, because they move in one way. Only moves in one range. You can't really get it wrong. So yeah, I would say machines.
Yeah, it's true. It forces you can't sit down on a chest press and do leg curls. It's not going to happen.
It only moves one way, and And choose the easy ones, like, you know, where there's less faffing on and less bits to fiddle with. Like leg curl and leg extension is a bit more fiddly.
Yeah.
But like leg press, like we use said, chest press, much easier.
I think as well, it's like how you learn most things. Like is like you've got Google at home, so it's like I know when I was in the gym, like 19, 20, that type of age, and I'm into fitness, but I've never been in a gym because you're not really allowed to be in a gym until you're older, 18 or something like that. So you go in and you're like, right, you're just looking at everything, and I was like, really wanted to use these things, but I hadn't a clue, and I didn't want to look stupid, or I didn't want someone coming over, so I was just like, I don't know, it was weird. So what I do is I just kind of like wait for someone to be on it and just kind of watch it, and like it's almost like education. I want to know how that machine works. Right, he's on it. All right, that's how it works. Same with like then free weights. I'm like, oh, what move is he doing? Like, oh, how's that happening? And like little things like that. Just like watch a lot and because like same with like because we're both specific to boxing. If there's a guy in the gym and he's like really skillful, I'm gonna be like watching him, and be like, how is he moving? Like try break it down and then save it in my head and then try repeat it on my own on the bag. So it's kind of the same. It's like if you're not in a position to ask anyone or you don't feel comfortable, just kind of like watch, take note of what people are doing, and then like when no one's watching, go over and try it.
I mean, we do that as coaches as well. Like, I'm sure you do this. I'll watch, like today, I watched a Glenn Holmes video, like a football video, because I thought just after some new ideas, like sometimes just watching somebody else makes you think, all right, that's given me an idea for that, or I'm going to use that in my session, because you just do get ideas from other people, and there's definitely nothing wrong with that.
Nah, yeah, definitely not. So it's like everyone feels intimidated, so don't feel stupid or alone, but also it's part of the journey. I felt that way, and then you just keep going back, keep doing it, you know.
It's just to make you think that, like you said about going to the gym when you're like 19, 20, because that's like really the kind of the first stage. When it's a little bit older, like kind of the first stage that you would go into the gym like on your own. And doesn't it make you think that maybe there should be more available for like teenagers, like younger teens, like where they can learn, so it just becomes like a total normal thing, in the same way that you go to school and you learn to read and write and do maths, that you do like physical stuff, so you're equipped with these skills, so you could basically go in any gym, operate a treadmill, leg press, do a squat.
Well, I have like issues with the education system. It's like I did PE for what, 18 years of my life, never got told or taught the technique of a squat. Probably got told to do them, probably did a fuck ton of squats. It's just like not, I feel like in Ireland anyway, the curriculum across the board, every subject, it's just, well, I can't actually say every subject because I don't know what they teach now, but like PE, maths, English, all of these things, it's just like, it's not, reading and writing, yeah, calculating stuff, yeah, but like angles and parallelograms and like PE never got taught like, right, this is your arm, these are muscles. It was just like run around there for 2 hours. Like it's like, it was great because I'm running around, but I'm not learning anything about physical education really. And that's not like the teacher's fault, because I always loved me PE teachers. They're just getting told like fucking tire them out for the afternoon probably, you know, like. So, and even that, like, even I played like football, like played for a team. We were good. We were legit. Like we were like not just recreation, but like our training was just purely, we just play football because like that was just what the team and the coaching staff, they didn't have like no one's getting paid for anything, right? So they don't have a budget to be there more than 2-3 times a week And it's like, let's get our soccer skills and let's get our games and like get our condition up. But like the strength and conditioning aspect of it, never mentioned. And it's not their fault. Again, it's like a grassroots thing. It's just never been a priority. And I think maybe from being over here in America, you see how they do that shit. It's like they just invest so much and it pays off because they're like, they go to Olympics and like we're delighted if we have one guy there rowing a boat. We're like, yes, we're in it. They're like delighted that they've won like 10 medals in one race, like, you know. So it's just insane. I think no one learns like basic human your body like until you go to a gym, like, and that's only if you choose to go to a gym, you know.
By which time you're allowed, maybe when you're a teenager and you start to feel like more self-conscious about yourself, like in your late teens, maybe it's like too late by then. Got to get them while they're young and not feeling so self-conscious and like they want to absorb the information and it feels like fun rather than a chore.
Yeah, it should be like because like I see people like, so I'm like really tangenting now, but like you go to like an old people's home and they just have them sitting there all day, just like, let's just sit here till you fucking die. And it's like, they're sitting there dying because they're fucking sitting there. Whereas if you like let them bring in someone that can do exercise more than 10 minutes a day, like, and like just sit up, it's like stand up, sit down. My nan used to be great at that. She'd sit up and down in a chair like 10 times, keep her legs going. She'd like do these in chairs and just like, and she lived alone till she was like 92 or something. She's still alive now. She's 99, lives in a home, but like she just never stopped moving because when you do, you fucking die. So it's like, yeah, I don't know, your body, I don't think it's taught young enough, like, you need this for your fucking life. And yeah, like just the importance of, I have a feeling like, really tangent now, sorry, but like if you look at like how many women football players rip their ACLs out, like how many of them same players were ever taught how to do squats, lunges correctly, or like just engage muscle groups? Probably none. You're just like, here's a field, here's a ball, and they love football, so they're just gonna run after it forever. Like, whereas if you have someone in there like teaching, you know, the basics of mechanics, that might help that.
I think it's always important for whatever age you are, for people to understand why you're doing something and the benefits of it makes you way more likely to want to do it.
Yeah. You tell Heidi like do 10 squats. She'd be like, I don't want to do 10 squats, but you're like, you do these 10 squats, it's gonna strengthen you up. You're gonna be like even stronger running, even stronger on the ball. You won't, like, your knees will be more bulletproof. She's gonna be like, fuck, give me those squats. Yeah, dead right.
I know about you said, but I think like that's a good conversation to have.
Yeah.
Right, you ready for another one?
Well, actually, I have to jump in with one more thing there because that's a huge important thing. It's like, as trainers, you'll always see it. It's like people are like, oh, I can't do that because I have bad knees, and it's like, no, you have bad knees because you don't do that. Like it's that old like mentality, and it's hard to. It's sad. Like you see so many people not move much because they think they can't, and it's like you can. It's just like, you know, it's gonna be tough, but you can.
And there's always a way. Always.
Always a way.
Right. Here we go. Number 3. How do I know? I actually love this question. How do I know if I'm selecting the right weight? I don't want to get injured, but I want to make the most of the exercises that I do and get stronger.
I feel like we kind of had a similar one last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good question. I don't think that people in general, like, I do think it's a little bit of a space where people are not sure.
Yeah, no, I think you're dead right. I agree with that. Again, because it's easy for us to say, we learned it in on like our fitness school stuff. So it's like, why would you know what weight and how many reps? Which kind of comes back down to like that gym trainer on the floor, or like Google. Like, because it does come down into the goals. Like we kind of talked about that before: strength, power, hypertrophy, endurance. But if you're like not even on that level, if you're like, well, none of them are my goals. I just know I need to strength train. It's like, right. So how do you want to feel? Or like, you know, people aren't worried about size or something. They just want to feel stronger. It can't go wrong just by lifting a weight in general, you know?
Yeah, I think, well, why don't, I guess my blanket answer to this would be choose a weight that whatever rep range you're doing and however many sets you're doing, allows you to keep good form, but by the last quarter of the set, so say if it's a set of 12, right? So let's say by the last 3 to 4 reps, it should feel like a real challenge. Like if 10 out of 10 was the heaviest you could lift and you physically couldn't do another rep, those last 3 reps should be feeling like a 9. Like you're on the cusp of, God, I can't do another one, and I certainly can't do another one with good form.
Yeah.
That's my blanket answer. But why don't we talk a little bit then about like those stages of training? Because we did touch on it a little bit before, like talk people through like the steps. So like starting with endurance.
Yeah. So I mean, there's scientifically different rep ranges for different outcomes. So we know like if you want to build endurance in the muscles, because then you get people like, if we're trainers, well, we are trainers, but if we have someone new and we're like, so what you looking to do, like strength, power, endurance, they're like, yeah, they want all of them, right? So there's phases we can attack all of them, but like, what's your primary goal? If you're a power lifter, like your primary goal is mostly power, but we'll definitely do strength and endurance. If you want just purely physical, aesthetically goal, right? Hypertrophy, that's your main, but we will touch on the others. So it's like, try zone in on what you really want here. And they're all very similar, but compounding, they're very different sort of thing. So endurance would be good for like those that are like, think like a boxer, right? He's got to have his arms out up here and out here a lot for the goods to 30 minutes at least. So that is a lot of endurance you're going to need. Now he also needs strength and power. But then you've got other sports like maybe someone like, I don't know, like a shot putter. He just needs like pure strength and power. He doesn't really need as much endurance. So try and again, I know not everyone is an athlete with a sport, but for my own training, I like to do strength touching on hypertrophy. I don't really want to get, I'm more worried about feeling strong because of what I do in my job than I am making certain muscles pop. So that's like, I know for me. So finding out what your goal is, and then there's rep ranges and sets attached to that. Yeah, my tangenting again. I'm in a tangent mood today.
And that's sound advice, like what you're saying is you've got to be choosing the right type of training for your goal. I was in a notebook ready to draw a little picture because I'm like,
staircase.
There you go.
Very nice.
The clients like this because for a lot of people who watch our stuff and like watch our lives and like follow our content and things, a lot of people are very much at the starting out stage. So like either they're not doing a lot or what they are doing has been the same for a long time. So like I'm just going to generalize and say most people like to start here, and this would be the endurance phase, and then after maybe like 4 to 6 weeks, taking a step up to hypertrophy, and then up to strength, into power. And power can look different for everybody. Like for some people, it'll be like plyo stuff, like throwing med balls. For some people, it'll be like Olympic lifts, stuff like that, like horses for courses. But I think as a general rule, if most people started here and built like a good base of endurance and cardiovascular fitness and muscular endurance, and then take these steps, you will get good results, and you'll see continuous progression. And then when you get at the end, you drop back down and you do the steps again, but you'll find that the second time you do endurance, the endurance phase, you'll be able to do way more than you could the first time.
Yeah, definitely.
I think if anybody's thinking, where do I start, what should I do? Like, I would just say, just start building like the foundation. This is for like newish people, not necessarily people who play a sport, and then just take the steps. But really, this is going to sound like like a sales pitch for me and you, but I use this analogy all the time. Like, you wouldn't cut your own hair, plumb your own boiler in. So like, I have done hair in the past. It's never ended well.
Yeah.
Ask an expert, like whether it's, I mean, it might not be me or you, but just a trainer at your gym. Like just ask it. Even if you only spend a month with a trainer, if you get a good trainer, the trainers will educate you along the way, so that you're not turning up for a session and leaving. You're actually going to finish. Say if you do a month with them, you're then going to go into the gym on your own, a much more well-educated person, probably a much more confident person who has a better idea of how to get a given result than you did 4 weeks earlier.
Yeah, it is funny that like you're with your body for your whole life, and everyone, not everyone, this is me generalizing, sorry, most people are not entirely happy with some part of them, like whether that be physically, like appearance, or like they might love their appearance, but like they know like shit, like I'm not as strong, or like I can't lift that, or like I get out of breath when I do this or that. To some aspect, everyone knows there's something they want to improve on in a health and fitness way. And it's like, right, you're on a journey of like, let's just say 100 years, and this is going to be part of your everyday. Like, why do it blind for 100 years and then die, rather than just be like, shit, I'm going to invest in this person just for like even a month, or just for one session to just guide me. And then I'm not doing loops in life of like, I wish I was stronger, I wish I was fitter, I wish I was leaner. Like do it, like pay someone do it. And then, because you're with your body for a whole lot of years. It's like getting in your car and trying to drive to New York right now. I can get in and just drive around like a mad woman and get lost and get frustrated. I can be like, you know what, all right, let me buy this map, and it's a journey, and I've invested, I'll get there, rather than wondering if I'll ever get there, and annoyed that I'm not there, and unhappy because I'm not there, and never getting there. I don't know. And like you said, don't cut your own hair.
Yeah, don't cut your own hair. It never ends well. Never ends. And that, you made a really good point there about age and how long you're on the planet. I often hear people say things like, "Oh, I can't do that now. I'm too old." Like, yeah, of course, and especially for women, your body does change as you progress through life. Like, especially as you go through the menopause and there are factors that will influence the things that you can do. But when people say I'm too old, I can't do that, like, if you think, like you see, you're on this earth for potentially what, 90, 100 years.
Yeah. Only one time as well, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you hear people in their 40s going, can't do that, too old. And You're only halfway there.
Yeah.
Like, done so far. You've got that all again to repeat. Like, you're just not too old. And I think as well, sometimes there's a misconception. People think, oh, I can't do that thing in the gym, or I can't do that thing. I've never done it before, but that's a young person's thing. That's passed me by now. You're never too old. Like,
Yeah.
I've got people, I bet you've got clients as well, and there's a lady who comes to me, started boxing when she's nearly 60. She's wanted to forever.
Yeah.
Thought I didn't necessarily like the idea of going to like a gym that was like quite male dominated. She just wanted to learn how to box, and that's her age, and she's smashed. Like, she's got rotation at the hips to die for, and like amazing. She's picked it up great, but like it's just an example of like you're never too old. It's just a number.
Yeah, and it is. It's humans are like the funniest. We're just so complex in a way that your brain can literally do. You can do anything you want in life, but actually, your brain is also the one thing that makes you overthink everything. So that, like, I don't mean I'm the exact same. I'll like the minute I think something like a million reasons why you can't or why you shouldn't pop in there. You have to try swim through them to like get clear again. But like, yeah, you're only here one time. You're never too old to do anything. That's just some weird societal rule that has no weight in it. No one's gonna arrest you for doing it. And if they're judging you, who gives a fuck? Like, you know what I mean? It's like you can live your life happy and just forget whoever wants to say whatever they want to say. Those people are just typically bitter because they're not doing what they want to do, and they're trying to pull you down because you are. And it's like, you'll never be as young as you are right now. So technically, the youngest you've ever been, or you're the youngest you'll ever be, like right now.
Yeah.
And like you said, yeah.
Think about like if I look back at so I'm 35 now. If I look back at when I was 25, like, have you heard that say? And my mum will say this. She'll go, I wish I was as fat now as I thought I was when I was 25. Like, you know, like, it's true because you look at yourself now and you can see, I do this all the time. We're all so bloody self-sabotaging in like every aspect of life. I look in the mirror and be like, oh my God, didn't have that line on my face before, didn't have that line before. But like, I think, Katie, get a grip, because guess what? In 10 years' time, you're going to have even more bad boys, and you'll wish that you hadn't sat here right now whinging about the line that you had by your eye, because in 10 years' time, you'll have 4 more. Like, just...
You'd be wishing that you were just ignoring the lines and living. Like, you'll always... We literally, like... It's like so interesting because you don't know what you don't know, and like hindsight, you can't know that till it's hindsight. But like, I just imagine us being like 90, 99, like it's your last day on earth. You're like, man, what a fucking like what, like, why were we so like, you know what I mean? Like you said, I wish I could eat, like, when I was 20, I could eat like 10 McDonald's in a row and not gain weight, but I thought I'd gain weight. And now I'm like, fuck, I wish I knew that when you get older, shit slows down. Like eat all that McDonald's, girl. Like, it's not an issue. But like, yeah, like you said, in 10 years, I'll be like, I wish I had the face I had when I was 35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, and sometimes you need reminders like this, like whether it's watching like this, whether it's chatting with a friend like we are now, like just to remind you to be like, just go and like seize the day as much as you can in every respect. So whether it's in looking in the mirror like this, or like going to the gym and to try new things, like trying a new skill, doing a new exercise class, just do it.
A hard one to get around then is like, and if people say something like, and what, like it shouldn't, it doesn't need to affect your life unless it's like constantly from your partner in life or like your kids, someone close to you that you want them close forever, like they're your people. If it's them constantly saying it, that's like different. But if it's like fucking Barbara 2 doors down, like who gives a fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like let her be bitter and twisted in her own little life. Does not matter.
God.
Karen 2 doors down, you know, like it just let that shit roll off you, because like it's all it is green-eyed monster. Like when someone is jealous of someone, most people are just going to be like, well, that's stupid, that's shit. But if I see something in someone else I'm jealous of, because I've done enough kind of like, I mean, always working on it, but like self-awareness work, I'm like, shit, I'm about to begrudge that person because, you know, they're doing something successful and I'm not. Like, so I need to fucking elevate to them rather than fucking try to pull them down to me. Like, so most people don't think like that. They're just like, it's easier to hate on it because it's easier than getting up and going to the gym and doing it. So fuck Barbara 2 doors down.
Yeah, Barbara.
Poor Barbara. She's probably lovely though, really.
I'm just trying to think if any of my neighbours are called Barbara or not.
Yeah, I was about to say, someone has a Barbara 2 doors down and they're going to be like...
Yes, are you ready for another question?
I am. I'm excited.
Oh my God. Okay, so best easy to follow lifting format in the gym. Now this is a bit broad because like lifting for what? Because we've already touched on, is it for hypertrophy, strength, endurance? I think with this, we'll go with the assumption that this is, because I think if this was like somebody who had experience in those different areas, they probably would have been specific. So let's go with the assumption that this is somebody who goes to the gym. You know what, I've just noticed John has just put a message on saying, oh, I thought it was a 7 o'clock start. John, don't worry. It was. But
Katie, yeah.
the clocks have changed on Kez's, but not ours yet. So this is this. Me and Kez had a call earlier in the week and I missed it by because I didn't know the clocks had changed. So don't worry, this will be safe. John, we answered questions too.
Yeah, John, you're not losing your mind here. Don't worry. But then I'm like, now, I'm like, all right, so my clock had changed. Lorna's clock had changed, which makes sense because she's also in America. But the other girl, Kay, is in Australia. So does that mean Australia's clock had changed as well?
I'll be honest, I'm not sure my brain can handle this.
That's like,
our clocks, unless our clocks have not changed. No, our clocks have not changed. That's next weekend.
yeah, we change. There is weeks that we change. Because I do be talking to my mom back home, like, right, we're 8 hours difference. But there's 1 week, maybe there's 2 now. I thought it was in the winter that we're only 1 week, 7 hours apart. But I didn't know that it happened every time. Anyway, back to our question.
Yeah, let's assume the person is going to the gym already, is doing some form of resistance training, because they've asked a question about lifting, but are not experienced necessarily in going through the steps of endurance, hypertrophy, strength, etc. A good lifting, easy to follow, lifting format, like programming format to follow.
Well, I always like to know how much time do they have as well. Because if it's like 2 days, 1 day, 5 days, that changes it. But let's just put you banging on 2 days. The main thing is keep things compound. Well, it doesn't have to be compound. That just means multiple muscle groups working, but more bang for your buck is compound. But isolation is great to train individual muscles. So a way I like to help people in that scenario take all the overwhelm out of it is upper body push, upper body pull, lower body hip dominant, lower body knee dominant. But then you can also go like upper body push, upper body pull, as well as push pull. But you can't go wrong if you're doing some type of upper pull, upper push, lower hinge, lower squat. Like that's just a basic ass, great start, meat and potatoes type of program. Yeah.
But that you've got balance. And that is often a lot of people are lacking in their gym program. Like, say if they do a lower body session, it'll often be like quad dominant, or knee dominant, call it, and like hamstrings and neglect balance. So I think that's a great place to start. I think you mentioned about time has, like said person got, don't know, but I think everybody's ultimately looking to get as much out of the session as they possibly can. Everybody's in a rush. So with that in mind, I would say I definitely recommend doing supersets, 2 exercises back to back.
Yeah.
For your rest, triceps, 3 exercises back to back, and take a rest, or even giant sets, 4 or more, just to get like as much done in the session as possible.
And when you're doing that, you're also getting your cardio in. So it's a win-win-win.
Double whammy. And like, say if you're doing supersets, again, it depends how many days you've got available, but if you haven't got a lot of time, say it's a full body session, like pair a upper body push, say with a lower body hamstring dominant exercise, and then maybe do the opposite, upper body pull, and a quad dominant exercise. I try and pair upper and lower body for that more cardio response. I think with limited information, that's as best as we can answer that one.
Yeah, because I mean, I also think, not that people overthink it, there's far too much vague information out there, and then people also overthink it. Like, because I like the first question we started with, how do I show up? Like, don't overthink it. Just go. You have to. Like, don't worry about my shoelaces aren't matching or whatever. Like, just get out the door and go. Like, so with that, it's like, yeah, like you said, just think of your muscles, right? I've got big upper leg muscles. Let me make sure I do front and back. I've got big front and back. Like, just try simplify that. Just get more conscious with what you're doing. Did I push something? Did I pull something? And then same with the legs, so that you do keep that balance.
I think like the one thing of all of the questions that we've been asked tonight, there's just I think we're going to answer them all with
Get a trainer.
Get a trainer. Which I feel like I hate saying, because it sounds like, of course we're going to say that. Like, that's how we earn a living. Of course, that's what we're going to say. But it's true, because all of these things can be, like, we can give the short form answer and definitely take that advice and definitely implement it in your gym workouts. Will feel different, but if like you really, really want to get to where you want to be, like, just get an expert. And it doesn't have to be long term. Like, you don't have to marry this person. You don't have to marry your trainer.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like you said, you don't want to sound like this whole live is a sales pitch for me and you as trainers. It's like, a good trainer will not be offended that you just want to do one session and learn shit. If they're trying to sell you 10 pack, like they're a salesman, car salesman, when they're like, oh, well, if you buy this deal and get 20 sessions, like, if you're just looking for help and you want to buy a session and you're straight and say like, hey, I just want to get more out of my sessions, I'm self-motivated, I don't want to have a full-time trainer. A good trainer, because we're in this to help people, will be like, cool, right, I will help you and not worry about trying to upsell you like 50 bleeding sessions and a supplement diet. So yeah, there's good trainers out there that will speed up your education with it, and then there is ones that will try sell you a bunch. But that's like anything in life, there's always the good and the bad, you know.
I think sometimes, like, it's important. This is probably as important for like participants and clients as it is for trainers, but as trainers, really, we have done our job very well if we can work with someone from a period of time and then almost like set them free into the
Yeah.
gym for them to go and like continue to excel. Like, yeah, there's always going to be people that love to do every workout that they do with a trainer, or always love to have a trainer to help program for them and all that sort of thing. But ultimately, we've done our job very well if we can educate and teach, and then go right on you go. Like, you've got this. I'm here if you need us in the future. But go on.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was our last question, and that's probably quite a nice way to end.
I like it.
Yeah. So we'll be back. We will be back in April.
This day, 4 weeks from now. Yeah.
No, I think we always have a chat about what we should do next. But we'd love to hear as well if there's anything in particular anyone would like to cover. We also have like a little group on Telegram, just if anyone wants to. John suddenly missed his question. John, it's the first question we did. So when Kez posts this on a grid, just watch the first like 5 minutes, and it's all yours, pal. It's all yours.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a little Telegram group where we drop like videos, just little check-ins, and just help and advice for people. So if anyone wants to join that, I guess we could both put it on our stories as well, couldn't we, after this?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, any ideas, not ideas, anything like that you want us to, because like we could talk for an hour on just great glute exercises, you know. So like we can always do the Q&A with just whatever comes up, but if we focus that hour on one specific topic, we can go deeper with it. So if there is something that you really want to get your pen and paper out and take notes on, like throw that into the suggestions, because we can pick that as a topic, and then we can dive a little bit deeper into like that last question we had there. Let's give you 4 different examples of an upper body push-pull day, instead of kind of throwing that out you at you and you know what I mean, like running out of time sort of thing. Just try to cover a bit of everything. So if there is anything specific, definitely let us know. Otherwise, we will just keep waffling your ears off with stuff we want to talk about.
If you're really specific, like if it's a program related thing, you could even write the program and talk you through how to do it every day.
Yeah, just drop your comments in, and yeah, that's what we're here for. Like, it's so funny, right? Because when I put up the post saying like, right, me and Katie's Q&A is coming, drop your questions here, and like people do be shy to put a question in, right? And a part of me is like wants to say like, if you could walk into a gym and pick any trainer and ask them questions all day, like put them questions here. Like I wish I could do that with like, you know, like if Travis Barker was putting a thing up about Q&A about drums. I'm obsessed with drums. I'd be like, right, yeah, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? Throw them all in, because like, when do I ever get to walk in, see him and be like, how do I do this? How do I do that? Like, but it's the exact same here, except you don't have to feel awkward saying it, or even you can stay anonymous. But if you had a personal trainer for an hour, what would you want to ask them? Well, here you go. Here's a box. Leave it there, because that's what we're here for. Like,
no, the thing is, that's a question. Like, we've had a conversation like this before about, like using the expression for us, like knowledge is a curse sometimes. Like we can assume that because we know certain things, that everybody else knows them, and that's like not the case at all. Like in my daily email lately, I've been stripping it right back, like doing like 3 things that can make you squat better, 3 ways to make your plank better, which I assume that people know, but they're the emails that have had the biggest responses, like the best open rates, the most replies, like thanks for this, tried it, did it, it worked. And it's the simple stuff. So never be like afraid to ask, because
yeah,
there's no judgment here from the goal-getters.
we don't like talk after and be like, that question was your one. We love Barbara really as well down the street, you know. No judgment.
I think Barbara should be like our example name all the time.
We should go with a little Barbara emoji and a little opinion bubble coming out of her head.
I like that. Thank you for the questions that we got tonight. I know we went off piste on a few of them, but hopefully the information that we shared was really helpful.
Yeah. We'll see you on Instagram or Telegram. And yeah, we'll see you in 4 weeks.
Sweet. Right. See you, Kez.
See you later. Enjoy the rest.